DBS Radio.
Get set for the Creole and Independent season with LA Dupany. Shop at their stores for the best Madras African print fabric and Creole accessories. Visit their hardware store and stock up on catering equipment, table, bathroom accessories, plumbing hardware, kitchen appliances, drinkware, and so much more. Don't wait. Shop now and make this festive season one to remember. Go home to quality. Only at LA Dupany.
Mas pra cá vir por já fechou.
This one here, Heart of the Production Line. Viv Poubondier.
Yes.
This one here done by WCK, featuring Conan XP and Benji. So that's Viv Poubondier, the WCK band alongside Colin XP and Benji Dynastic. We'll certainly bring you more of this one throughout the day and the season as well. Up next, we'll bring you the DBS Major Morning News. Before we do so, we'd like to extend birthday greeting to Kurt Cuffey of Riviera Serene and Ferdinand Joseph of Kulabishri. Good morning to you guys. Have a wonderful day. Birthday greetings coming from the diary lady, Ruth Ann Beaupierre.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: Dominica will this week stage the Creole language consultation at the UE Global Campus. In news from the region, the United States has given Trinidad and Tobago permission to restart talks with Venezuela on the Dragon gas field project. And internationally, Hamas says all living Israeli hostages have been handed back to Israel. Well, good morning. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
Yummy. Yummy. Looking for something sweet, chewy, delicious, or even crunchy? We've got you covered. Mars and Wrigley's products are the perfect pick for all your sweet tooth cravings. Available in M&M's, Twix, Milky Way, Snickers, Skittles, and even gummies. So next time your cravings are at an all-time high, choose Mars and Wrigley's.
Available at Fine Foods Inc. distribution or your favorite supermarket island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe, 20 pound fiber glass cylinder. Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, Dominica will on Thursday stage the Creole language consultation at the UE Global Campus, for the event spearheaded by Creole Heartbeat in conjunction with the Ministry of Education and the UE Global Campus, and Alias Forces brings together presenters from here and abroad.
The presenter from Martinique will be dealing with the formation of Creole language policy, and she's Dr. Marie-Francois Bernard. We also have another doctor from Guadeloupe, and her topic will be the importance of the Creole language and the formation of Creole partnerships. And she'll also give us the status of the language in Guadeloupe, a slight history. We have from St. Lucia another doctor, Dr. Kentry Jean-Pierre, and he'll speak about the Creole in St. Lucia, what they have done. And we also have from Haiti, Micheline Dragon, and she'll be talking about the importance of the Creole people, forged partnerships for a common cause. From Trinidad, and Namdi Hodge, and he's talking about the status of Creole in Trinidad in a multilingual society. And we have from Dominica, Madam Sonia Akpa, legitimizing the Creole language in a multilingual society. Dominica as the case study now. And then Magali Celestine, she's the local registrar for CXC, making the Creole language mandatory in schools. And Delia Coffee, Creole in the community, how much of the language that is spoken in the community. Then we have Raymond Lawrence, will be speaking about the legacy of Keck, championing the cause of Creole. And Gordon Henderson will be talking about the language in music. And the man who brought Creole to DBS Radio, Dennis Joseph, will be talking about this, speaking about the language in the media. And one of the things that we'll be doing is, like I said, honoring Felix and Jamala and the host Amelia and Ophelia.
And that's Creole and Cultural Ambassador Leroy Waddix Charles of Creole Heartbeat, and he was speaking on the Connecting the Dots program on the weekend. In some more news this morning, the Dominica Calypso Association has a new executive. Daddy Chess, Caressa, Peter Leta, Bingo, Oracle and Royet, Tronada and Mystery were elected at the weekend. They will join Joey Lloyd, who is the only other member from the last executive eligible to remain on the executive. While the new executive will now decide on a president and other positions, the elections became necessary after the term of Davidson Observer Victor, or the Davidson Observer Victor-led executive, came to an end, while the Calypso eliminations are set for December 2025. 6 students will participate in the second annual DBS Radio Independence Creole Speech Competition. The event will take place on Friday at the UE Global Campus under the theme Creole is not Patois, Preserving Our Linguistic Legacy. Kiwana Fontaine Wilson, the head of the language department, is the organizer of the competition.
The event forms part of this year's independence celebrations, as it did last year. And we continue to highlight the importance of preserving the Creole language. This year's theme is Creole is not Patois, Preserving Our Linguistic Legacy. The reason we chose this theme is because people still refer to Creole as Patois. But Creole is a language in its own right. You know, it has its own structure, it has its own rhythm, its own vari, its own flair. So with that in mind, the competition will allow students to go into researching the history of Creole, not just to present or speak Creole, but to have an understanding of its history, to respect its values, and to keep it alive for generations to come. There will be 6 students representing 6 secondary schools from across the island. They will prepare a speech to showcase their fluency, their creativity, their command of the Creole language, the content as well. So we are looking forward to this competition on the 17th of October at 11 a.m. The venue is the University of the West Indies Global Campus Auditorium. So we invite you on Friday, the 17th of October, to be part of this second edition of the Secondary Schools Creole Speech Competition.
And that's the head of the language department at DBS Radio, Kiwana Fontaine Wilson. Minister for Health and Parliamentary Representative for the Mahu constituency, Kasani Laville, wants the community of Mahu to address the issue of vagrancy which exists at the Mahu market. His call came during Market Day for Difference in Mahu on Saturday.
My friends, we have an issue here with the vagrants. We know that. Before every function, major function that we have here, we have a challenge to clean. It's a challenge that I face, one that the council faces, where we have vagrants along the facility. It does not work together. Food sale and vagrancy, it does not work well together. This is a social issue that we have to address. And in some cases, it's linked to a drug issue and a drug abuse issue that we must contend with as well. Very sadly, the issues that we had here before, it's not mainly about garbage not being collected on time. In some cases it was. But in many cases, you deal with people, vagrants, who are either hungry or have poor habits in which they themselves are the ones going through this to look for items that could be sold or used or consumed. This is very sad. This is not dignity. This is not a way that people should live. And it's our responsibility as a community to address this issue. These are children, these are brothers, they are sisters of each other, people that we grew up with. One of them, I played football with him. I have a photo where we're on the same football field, and it hurts to see him going through this garbage dump looking for food. We have to address it. And we should not point fingers and say, this is the person who should solve it. We should all say, I can solve it in my way and contribute to this issue that we have.
Minister for Health and Parliamentary Representative for the Mahu constituency, Kasani Laville. Meantime, Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Development, Senator Oscar George, called for more young people to take up agriculture to sustain the sector.
And I urge us to let's ensure that more young people can get involved in farming. We have to ensure that the legacy laid down by our farmers can be carried on into the future, and we'll only be able to sustain and feed ourselves if more young persons enter in the farming profession. And many times we see farming as something we do on the side, a hobby. And I think we have to get out that mentality and encourage more young persons to farm and to produce foods. And because of this tremendous importance of the farmers and vendors in the Mahu area and in Dominica by extension, our government has made it our mandate to promote and invest in the farmers, because we all have to eat, and this is what makes farming so important for all of us. We have to eat more of what we produce as a country. That's the only way we're going to survive. And just to say further that our local food are the healthy option. We have to limit eating of processed food in Dominica, and the sheer cost of treating persons with diseases as a result of eating artificial foods is significant. And the only way we can see or we can build a healthy nation is that we go back to the ground and we eat more of what we produce.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Development, Senator Oscar George. Among the awardees for Market Dairy for Difference at Mahu were Athenia Esprit, the impressive farmer vendor, Lester Alexander, the youngest serving vendor, Akim Alexander, biggest catch of the season, Joan Joseph, biggest root crop, and Bella George, the best van vendor. Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Development, Senator Oscar George, has told 4-H clubs in Dominica to join the fight against youth violence and drugs. His call came at the National 4-H Award ceremony. Senator George says the 4-H presents many opportunities for the youth.
Through 4-H, our young people build character, live a life of service, learn new skills, and lay the foundation for a better, more sustainable future for us all. And I dare say that if one have to look at all those who journeyed through the 4-H program, through the 4-H movement, and reflect on who they are today in society, one realize that 4-H indeed cultivates a sense of discipline and selflessness. If we can have our young persons become committed to the movement, I dare say that the future for Dominica will be bright. The future for our young people in this country will be bright. So to our youth, we should all be proud to be a member of the 4-H movement. I urge them to continue making their mark in their school and in the community and the country by extension. We depend on you to join the fight against issues that affect our communities. You have to fight against the act of littering and play your part in keeping Dominica clean and green. You have to fight against youth violence and against the use of drugs. You have to be like police boys and police girls, time and time again, encouraging your peers to do the right thing.
And that was Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Senator Oscar George. Meantime, the Convent High School took the Roosevelt Skerritt Secondary School's 4-H Club of the Year title. In second place was St. Mary's Academy and third place is St. Martin's Secondary School. The primary school's title was won by the Convent Prep with Granby Primary in second place, the St. Mary's Primary placed third, and Coolibishri Primary fourth, and St. Luke's Primary in fifth place. These were among several awards presented by at the National 4-H Award Ceremony at the State House Conference Center. And among some of the other awards, we had public speaking awards to St. Mary's Academy and St. Luke's Primary. The largest primary school club award of the year went to the Convent Prep, and for the secondary school, the Dominica Grammar School. And the secondary school local leader award went to Vanessa Seraphin Williams of the St. Martin's Secondary School, and the primary school excellence in leadership award to Mrs. Zama of the Convent Prep. Over 100 awards were presented to 4-H clubs and leaders. Well, let's head into news from the region this morning. The United States has given Trinidad and Tobago permission to restart talks with Venezuela on the Dragon gas field, which is an offshore project led by Shell. Well, the field lies on the maritime border between the two countries and is estimated to hold about 4 trillion cubic feet of gas. Work on the project was halted in 2019 because of U.S. sanctions against Venezuela's state oil company. Trinidad's Attorney General John Jeremy said the new license was granted under the U.S. sanctions law and will be rolled out in stages, allowing Trinidad's government to negotiate with Venezuela on commercial goods for American firms. And on the international scene, the Israeli military has confirmed that all 20 living hostages in Gaza have now been handed over. The hostages were kidnapped in southern Israel during the 7th October attacks in 2023. In exchange for the hostages, Israel released 250 Palestinian prisoners and more than 1,700 detainees. The U.S. President Donald Trump earlier today declared that the war is over in Gaza. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. Dominica will this week stage the Creole language consultation at the UE Global Campus. The United States has given Trinidad and Tobago permission to restart talks with Venezuela on the Dragon gas field project. And Hamas says all living Israeli hostages have been handed over to Israel. That's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola, such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe, Petro Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
K1 Creole Festival is almost here. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm going to every event and the festival itself.
What? But how are you managing it all?
Easy, with my NBD credit card. Every swipe is a chance to win. NBD. Celebrate 25 years of the World Creole Music Festival. 25 years, 25 big wins. Use your NBD credit card or sign up this festival season
for a chance to win exciting prizes. Shop, swipe, win.
Don't have a card yet? Sign up today and join the celebration.
Call 767-255-2337 or email credit@nbd.pm to get started. Hurry, promotion ends November 5th, 2025. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, welcome to the morning sports. Let's bowl off with cricket news as a century for Shea Hope and a maiden century for John Campbell as the West Indies showed some fight in the second test against India this morning. But despite their efforts, it's still India on the verge of a win in the second test match. The West Indies put up their best batting display on the tour and even managed to send India back to bat again. But like we said, it's India on the verge of victory. India, they're chasing 121 to win. They're currently 51 for 1 with a few overs left in the day's play. Let's recap the match highlights so far. India declared on 518 for 5 batting first. Jaiswal got 175, Shubman Gill 129 not out, and Sudhar Hassan 87. We had Jomel Warrican taking 3 for 98 for the West Indies. West Indies in reply all out for 248, with Alik Athanase getting 41, Shea Hope 36, and Tejnarain Chandapal 34. Kuldeep Yadav, he picked up 5 for 82 for the Indians. So the West Indies asked to follow on. They were bowled out for 390 this morning. John Campbell got a maiden test century, 115. Shea Hope, 103. And Ruston Chase, 40. And Jasprit Bumrah, well, he picked up 3 for 44. And Yadav, 3 for 104 for the Indian team. And India, like we said, they're chasing 121 for victory. And they're currently 55 for 1. Sudhar Hassan is not out on 28. And KL Rahul is unbeaten on 19. India, well, they need some 66 more runs to win the game, and there's 2.1 overs left in day 4, so the match could possibly be headed into the 5th and final day. So just to recap, the scores: India 518 for 5 declared and 55 for 1. The West Indies 248 and 390. And India needs some 66 more runs to win the game. Let's move to some football news now as the defending President's Cup champion Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla FC into the semi-finals of that competition as they put 9 goals past DFFC as the President's Cup continued yesterday at the DFA Technical Center. Odell Laville registered a hat-trick. Travis Joseph and Coben Paul also got 2 goals each as Dubla raced to the 9-2 win. In the other quarter-final match yesterday, Valvoline Way United, they got past the Belfast Estate Mau Suka Strikers to punch their ticket into the semi-finals. Way United won that match 4-1. Roosevelt Coppell, Lennon Banis, Alison Gasper and Jarek Parker scored for Way United, while Tukrante Woodman got the lone goal for Maho. Meantime, Sagicor Southeast came from 2 goals down to beat Petro Caribe Port Michel to advance to the semi-finals on Saturday. Daniel Jupini and Kyle Delsod had put Port Michel 2-0 up in the first 5 minutes of the match, but Southeast held their composure and got 3 unanswered goals to take the match 3-2. We had Javid George getting a brace and Adriel Lawrence also scoring for for Southeast. Here now is the Sagicor Southeast head coach, Kimon Coffey.
Well, basically, we started off slow, 2 silly mistakes and they scored, but we always have that thing in us. We push and eventually we got the winning goal, and that was good.
You push, but what was the message to the guys? Because 2 goals down very early in the game, that was a very hard blow to deal with.
Yes, well, the thing is, it was just a mistake, and what we said is just push. It's continue pushing, continue working hard. The goals are always there. It's just time and patience, and that was it.
Javid George was really exceptional tonight. His pace really terrorized the Port Michel team. Quick word on Javid.
Well, Javid is always that player. We welcome him back, and I don't know what else to say. He's just an extraordinary player.
All right, what can you take from this win now as you move on to the next round?
Well, the determination, the fight we had in the second half, that's what we're going to do in the next.
And that's the Southeast coach, Kimon Coffey. In some more football, where we had Antoine Larocque getting a hat-trick as the Roosevelt's Carrot Bombers beat Connect 767 Quartz Redicast East Central 5-3. Davon George and Usher George also scored for the Bombers, while Randolph Felty scored twice, and Nathan Newton also got a goal for East Central. Roosevelt's Carrot Bombers head coach is Oris Mills.
We are pleased with the result tonight. Honestly, it wasn't our best performance. It had a lot of back and forth in the game. So at least one of the positives that we showed great character, even though we went a goal down, that we were able to fight back, even if they pegged us back again, but we were able to push on.
How much of this performance do you take to rust, having not played competitive football in a while?
A lot of it, I think, is down to rust. And unfortunately, we were not able to get a friendly match even before the start of the competition. So the players are just getting back their legs now. You could see that a lot with the touches on the ball.
All right, looking ahead to the semi-finals, how confident are you guys?
At this point, we're just happy that we have advanced. We have done the job in front of us, but we'll have to do a lot of work on the training ground so that we get stronger as the tournament goes on.
And that's the Roosevelt's Carrot Bombers head coach, Oris Mills. Connect 767 Quartz Redicast East Central head coach, Stanton Seraphin.
Yeah, definitely, Gavin. Tough. I think we had a very good first half. Been 2-1 up, at the end of the first half, coming to the second half. Posse coming back, with 2 other goals, going up 3-2. And then we equalizing, making it 3-3, and at that time the game was really tight. Both teams going for it, but then really had some, calls we felt that went against us. I think for such an important match, some of these calls really went against us late in the game. And, that's how it is. We went down 4-3 and basically the game was over.
And that was the Connect 767 Quartz Redicast East Central head coach Stanton Seraphin. The 4 teams into the semi-finals are Central Cooperative Credit Union, Dubla FC, Valvoline United, Sagicor Southeast, and the Roosevelt's Carrot Bombers. And speaking of semi-finals, well, the former DFA Premier League side, Baffin State FC, are now 2 games away from a return to the Premier League as they crush Northside in the Division 1 quarterfinals on the weekend to advance to the Division 1 semi-finals, where Baffin State advanced with a 7-1 win over Northside at the Almond Park in Dubla on Saturday. Eustace Marshall and Montel James scored 2 goals each. Anthony Frederick, Giovanni De Gallery, and Kendrick Walso also got a goal each for the Baffin State team. Meantime, St. Joseph FC, they're also into the Division 1 semi-finals. They advanced with a win over Kalibishi FC last night at the Almond Park in Dubla. The quarterfinal action will continue tonight. There's a big game on tonight. Fonkole FC, they will take on the Do It Center Mighty Avengers at the DFA Technical Center. And that game will get underway at 6:30 this evening. There's also some football action at the DFA Technical Center this afternoon as the Dominica Grammar School will go in search of their first wins in the Sports Division Secondary Schools under 15 and under 20 tournaments as that competition continues today. Dominica Grammar School will take on the Portsmouth Secondary School at 2 o'clock this afternoon in the under-15 division, while at 3:30 the Dominica Grammar School will take on the Goodwill Secondary School, and that's in the under-20 division. Both games, like we said, are at the DFA Technical Centre. Let's go to some domino news now, as Brutal Forces and Brigady Stars were there among the winners as the Julius Timothy Independence Domino League continued on the weekend. Here now is the league coordinator, Delvin Esprit.
What an exciting last weekend it was in the Julius Timothy Islandwide Domino League, as a number of close matches were played. Wake Up Stars from Portsmouth got the better of Ficus and Woodford. Final scores: Wake Up Stars 3,027, Ficus 2,752. BS Stars from Anzimi 3,017, West Coast Credit Union Jerry Adrian Valiance 2,474. White City from Grand Fork 3,025, Itasi Stars 2,684. Non-players from Cassabridge 3,013, Marcy Square 2,660. Roadblock from Thibault 3,017, Roadside 2,267. Brutal Forces from Grand Bay continue to do well with victory over Baghdad. Final scores: Brutal Forces 3,036, Baghdad 2,155. Brigade Stars from Peebush also in good form, destroyed NATO Full Effects. Final scores: Brigade Stars 3,004, NATO Full Effects 1,776, and Warriors from Marigot got the better of Bad Side in a tight match. Final scores: Warriors 3,007, Bad Side 2,789. Delvin Esprit reporting.
And we say thanks to Delvin Esprit for that report. And before we continue, let's go back to the football match between Central Cooperative Credit Union, Dubla FC, and DSFC. And like we said, it was a 9-2 win for the Dubla team. Just a correction on the goal scorers. We actually had Shikel St. Marie getting 2 goals, Travis Joseph 1 goal, Coben Paul got 1 goal, and there was an own goal as well. And we had Odell Laville getting a hat-trick for the Dubla team. Finally, this morning, DFA Vice President Erickson De Gallery says it's an honor to serve on FIFA's Grassroots and Amateur Football Committee. De Gallery was appointed as a committee member last week. The DFA President, Glenn Etienne, has also been appointed to FIFA's Technical Committee. De Gallery says that the appointments are testament of the good work that the Dominica Football Association has been doing.
Well, Gavin, I count it as an honor, blessing, and a privilege to be appointed to this FIFA Grassroots and Amateur Football Committee. This appointment of President Etienne and myself, it speaks volume in terms of the high regard in which the DFA enjoys on the international scene. We are very fortunate as a small member association. We have 2 members appointed to different committees, whereas there are some bigger MAs with only 1 member appointed, and in some cases, no members are appointed. So in that sense, we in Dominica are very, very fortunate. The Grassroots and Amateur Football Committee is more or less concerned with grassroots football. And as we know, grassroots football aims to bring football to many young persons as possible between the ages of 6 to 12 in a way that is fun and exciting and targeting young persons from every nook and cranny. So basically, this committee is an advisory body that will provide advisory support to the FIFA president and the FIFA council in terms of what has to be done for grassroots development in all 211 member associations. So, Gavin, as a member of that committee, it is my aim to contribute meaningfully and to help develop grassroots football across all the member associations. So I am basically really excited and looking forward to working with the other members of that committee, and above all, to represent Dominica well on the international stage.
And that's the DFA Vice President and FIFA Grassroots Committee member, Erickson De Gallery. And just before we leave, we can let you know that the West Indies, they've taken the second test match into the 5th and final day. Of course, India will need just 58 runs when play resumes at midnight tonight, Caribbean time. India chasing 121. They reached 63 for 1 at stumps on day 4. That's the morning news and sports. More news and sports highlights at 11 o'clock during the morning news update. And of course, look out for the 13:15 news. Until then, Gavin Richards saying good morning.
K1 Creole Festival is almost here. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm going to every event and the festival itself.
What? But how are you managing it all?
Easy, with my NBD credit card. Every swipe is a chance to win. Sekosayo Cafe Kote NBD. Celebrate 25 years of the World Creole Music Festival. 25 years, 25 big wins. Use your NBD credit card or sign up this festival season
For a chance to win exciting prizes. Shop, swipe, win.
Don't have a card yet? Sign up today and join the celebration.
Call 767-255-2337 or email credit@nbd.pm to get started. Hurry, promotion ends November 5th, 2025. Terms and conditions apply.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of